Alright, it's time to do a taste test video. I'm going to be trying 7 different dwarf tomatoes today from the Dwarf Tomato Project. We'll start over here. We have Boronia. That was my favorite from last year. Rosella Purple. That's kind of an ugly one. It's hard to get perfectly ripe tomatoes and good looking tomatoes all at the same time, so some of these are a little rough looking. It's got a split in it. Then we have lemon ice in the middle. Tasmanian Chocolate. That's the Purple Heart. Maralinga, it's got a big split in it. And Sleeping Lady. I'm going to taste these one at a time, and then at the end I'm going to give you my opinion on where they rank from 1 to 7. I'm going to be starting with lemon ice. This is pretty typical for the size of these, and they set on very well. Produce quite a few tomatoes. I'll slice it right down the middle here. Looks pretty meaty. Let's slice it the other way, see what that looks like. Still looks pretty meaty. Looks very good. So cut off a hunk and we'll try it and see what we think. My first impression of this is very mild. Still beats anything you'll buy in the grocery store. I'll try another bite. I'm getting almost a excuse me, almost a hint of saltiness, which is interesting. It's a good tomato. Once again, it's mild and somewhat low in acid. For people who don't like the acid part of tomatoes, this might be a good one. Now we're going to try Dwarf Purple Heart, and I really like the looks of the color of this tomato, and I'm also looking forward to tasting it. Wow, it's got a really good color. I like that a lot. Slice it down this way. Looks real meaty. Like I said, I really like the color of this one. Got a well-balanced flavor. It's you can get a hint of sweetness. I like that one a lot. And out in the garden we have quite a few of them still on the plant, so that's a very good thing. This one is Maralinga, and it grows some big tomatoes. This is pretty good size, but there are a couple of them on the plant that are even larger than this one. Since it has that split over here, I'm going to cut it down this way. Looks like it's kind of green at the top a little bit. Now let's cut it this way. Oh wow, that looks good. Really love the color of this one too. Never tasted one of these. We'll see how it tastes. I like that a lot. Got that full, homegrown, dark tomato flavor. Again, this is well balanced, just a hint of sweetness. It's really good. I like that a lot. It's going to be a very good summer, I'll tell you that right now. Now we're going to try Boronia. This is an ugly little tomato. It's got a split on it. Typically, they look more like this Boronia here, but this one, it's just what I got to use because of the timing of it. Since it's kind of got the split over here, I'm going to cut on this side. Like the looks of that quite a bit. Take a bite of this. That's excellent. Once again, I'm getting that very full flavor, well balanced, and a sweetness. And on this one, I'm getting some of that salty taste. I really like that. It's like I'm getting a salty taste without actually using salt, which is really nice. I'm liking this one a lot. That's excellent. While we've got the Boronia handy, we're going to go ahead and try this one. This is my favorite from last year, and while I've got that Rosella Purple fresh on my mind, I'm going to try this one. Really nice color. Maybe not quite as dark as the Rosella Purple. That's very good, but just comparing the two, Rosella Purple's probably got the edge right now. I remember what this tastes like last year, and to me, the taste of this one is off just a little bit from what it tasted last year. But it's still a very good tomato, and it's definitely worth trying if you haven't tried it. Sleeping Lady is another one that I'm growing for the first time this year. We'll see what I think. It's got a little bit of a core in it, but it's pretty meaty. And one thing I've noticed out in the garden is that this one's really putting on the tomatoes, and it has some. Here we are, and as I'm filming this, we're in late July, and it's still got tomatoes setting on at the top of the plant. And so far, it's got very little signs of any disease. That's also a very good tomato. Got that full, dark, homegrown tomato taste. It's very good, and I'm looking forward to all the tomatoes that I have on these plants. I've got 2 plants, and they're both loaded. Okay, now we're going to try Tasmanian Chocolate. This was our best producer last year. It had a ton of tomatoes on it, grew to 5 feet tall. This year it was a different story, which just goes to show you things change from one year to the next year. Sometimes a certain variety does great one year and not so great the next year, and that was the case with the Tasmanian Chocolate. It didn't produce as many tomatoes. They were still fine looking tomatoes, but the plant is showing some signs of disease, and it has spider mites too. So I'm thinking I might pull that because it has no tomatoes at the top. It's just been an off year for it. Why, I can't explain, but that's just the way it goes with tomatoes sometimes. Let's cut into this. Got very good color. I'm noticing more sweetness in this than I noticed last year. It's got a good flavor. It's a good tasting tomato, and like I mentioned last year, it produced a ton of tomatoes. I just have one of these growing this year and it's not doing so great. So I still think it's worth a try for anybody who hasn't tried it yet. We're going to go back to the original clip, and I'm going to tell you what I think as far as where they rank from number 7 to number 1. And one thing I will tell you that is that the lemon ice, it's my number 7, and for me it's just too mild. I like a lot of flavor when I bite into a tomato, and even though it's got a pleasant taste, it's not enough taste. It's just doesn't make those taste buds light up like I like. So that's my number 7. Number 6, and once again, every year is a little different, and some years one tomato will do better than another, and the next 6 are very close. I'll say that, very close, except for the number 1, which is, I think, clearly number 1 today. But number 6 is Tasmanian Chocolate. Number 5, Sleeping Lady. Number 4, Purple Heart. Number 3, Boronia. Number 2, Maralinga. And number 1 is Rosella Purple. If you've never grown any of the top 6 that I ranked today, I would recommend all of them. And if you like mild tomatoes, lemon ice is a good choice. The lemon ice is showing a little bit of signs of disease out in our garden right now, but that doesn't mean it won't do well in your garden. But that's what I think of these tomatoes today. And if you've grown any of those and tried them, let me know what you think of them down in the comments. I think everybody else would appreciate hearing other opinions besides mine. I know I like to hear what other people think about various tomatoes. Just because I like something doesn't mean you will, and just because you like something doesn't mean I will. But if you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.